Thank you for joining us for Newsline on this last Sunday in the month of October. I am Jennifer Igwe, your host, ready to take you through our lineup of human interest stories. Nigeria has experienced extreme flooding and disastrous consequences of climate change. Experts say the devastating challenge is a harsh reminder of the need for us to do all we can to save the earth. A young flood victim has re-echoed this call in his own unique way, and he is drawing attention on the need to heal the world. How? You have to stay tuned for the story. Then some stories we hear can be so bizarre that you almost think they are fiction, but they are not. Like the case of a father who hit his 6-month-old baby and made him lose an arm. Our reporter following the case is set to tell us more. Then, another shocking story is the fact that we have over 30 traffic signs, but there is one that motorists in Lagos dread the most. Are you thinking? Can you guess which one? Hold on with your answer. Our feature on it will tell if you are right or wrong. We will also be joining the Obi of Onitsha to celebrate one of the most important festivals of the Onitsha people. This festivity, however, has a special dimension. What is it? Stay on the line for details. My colleague Elizabeth Omori is also on the line, waiting to take the news segment. Hello, Lizzie. Over to you.
Hello, Jennifer, and thanks for joining us in Abuja. President Muhammad Buhari says he's fully in support of the decision by the Central Bank of Nigeria to redesign and launch new Naira notes, stating that the nation will gain a lot from the policy decision. Speaking exclusively to Tambari Television in Hausa, President Buhari described as convincing reasons given by the CBN that the economy stands to benefit from reduction in inflation, currency counterfeiting, and excess cash in circulation. He said it did not consider the period of 3 months for the change to the new Naira notes as being short. The president emphasized that only people with illicit money buried under the soil will have a challenge with this. But workers and businesses with legitimate income will face no difficulties at all.
Shi gwamnan bankin tarayya ya sanar da ni da zai wannan canji.
The central bank governor has informed me about the redesign of the new Naira notes. I did not consider the period of 3 months for the change to the new note has been shut. Workers, businesses with legitimate income will face no difficulties at all. But those people with illicit money buried underground will have challenge with this. The Central Bank of Nigeria has my backing in replacing the Naira notes.
It should be aired on Wednesday on NISAT. The president also addressed, amongst others, issues of food and national security. To security matters, President Muhammad Buhari will on Monday meet with security chiefs in the nation's capital to further review and strengthen security network in the country. The president, who was initially scheduled to inaugurate the new National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NASENI Technology and Innovation Complex, will receive briefs from the security chiefs and interject on areas that need more attention. The inauguration of the NASENI new complex will hold on a later date. Meanwhile, the governors of the Southeast region have agreed to set up a joint patrol in all major highways in the zone, especially during the Christmas season. The governors met in Enugu in view of the rising state of insecurity in the Southeast. Susan Eze reports that this was raised during a meeting on matters affecting the zone.
Resolutions reached by the governors was presented by the chairman of the forum and governor of Ebonyi State, David Umahi. The issue of insecurity in the southeast manifests in the rising cases of kidnapping and wanton killings was top on the agenda as the governors decried the situation.
Southeast governors therefore call on the federal government to come to the aid of the people of Southeast in beefing up security in the zone. Meanwhile, we all agreed definitely and totally to start a joint security patrol in all our major highways in Southeast. And this will commence before December 1st. So we're going to put funds together to purchase vehicles to ensure that we have 24 hours joint patrol of security people in most of our highways. Southeast governors are watching with keen interest the development with respect to the case of Nnamdi Kanu vis-a-vis the court rulings. However, we believe that a political solution is still very much possible in this circumstance. So we ask the federal government that we are disposed as a people for political solution in this regard.
On the issue of flooding, the Southeast governors commended the efforts of the federal government in bringing succor to flood victims, but however hoped that long-term solutions to the problem would be sought. They pleaded with the federal government to initiate action in dredging the rivers in the Southeast to ameliorate the destruction of houses, farmlands, and property. In Enugu, Susan Eze, NTA News.
Troops of 221 Wawa Cantonment in Borgo local government area of Niger State have reportedly repelled and dislodged some terrorists Sunday evening after failing an early attempt on the military base. Correspondent Kabir Abdullahi in New Busa reports that the terrorists, who disguised in Sienna Boss and a Gulf 3, were dislodged at various locations in the area. Items recovered from the vehicles include live cartridges, motorcycles and other dangerous weapons believed to have been used for the earlier operation. The failed mission of the terrorists was attributed to the swift combined response of officers and men of 401 Air Combat Training Group, New Busa. Though, as at the time of filing this report, there was no official statement from the military. To this effect, however, about 8 of the terrorists were said to have been captured, including their commander. And the Niger Police Force has described as false reports that the Federal Capital Territory was being saturated with bombs. A statement by the Force Public Relations Officer Olumiwa Adejobi warns against spreading falsehood, as the Federal Capital Territory is safe and there is no imminent threat. Neither is the FCT being saturated with bombs, as speculated. The PRO therefore urges residents of the FCT and Nigerians outside the city to disregard this fake news purportedly sponsored to heat up the polity. People now sleep with their eyes closed in the northeast, with more than 81,000 Boko Haram and ISWAP fighters surrendering and ongoing rescue of abducted individuals. Umaru Kirawa reports.
The retrogressive more than a decade-long insurgency can be described by volume of destruction and wanton killings that led to displacement of millions of people, with continued attacks on military, civilian infrastructural targets and occupation of some communities in the northeast. Nigeria's armed forces, other security formations and the civilian joint task force, as well as other actors, took the challenge to ensure peace and order is restored.
There is a stable security system here, and it has improved a lot in socio-economic activities.
With this now, we are very sure the economic activities of this axis will pick up.
The scars of the insurgency are now healing, with Boko Haram and ISWAP fighters surrendering, communities rebuilt, IDPs resettled by federal Borno state government and development partners, with civil authority taking root and INEC preparing to conduct the 2023 general elections in such communities.
And the recent unprecedented mass defection in surrender of Boko Haram members, and the list of people that have hit up and slept as farmers and workers, resulted in the need for us to be more strategic.
Since the inception of the new government till date, they don't own one local government in Borno State, and that's what we want to improve on, and to ensure that there's total peace in the northeast.
With hostage-taking and highway attacks reducing, this year alone, 13 abducted Chibok schoolgirls were rescued. Farming, in addition to other socio-economic activities, gradually booming as roads reopen for movement without security escort.
Boko Haram will disappear. You see it already weakening. But it will disappear the day in which we will be able, with the support of the international community.
Our citizens are law-abiding citizens. Even during the trial moment and the trial period, they have been very supportive.
The narrative changed from 2015, with normalcy returning to liberated areas, IDPs camps closed, and once known strongholds of the insurgents destroyed by the motivated security forces, also engaging non-kinetic approaches to ensure peace takes root. In Maiduguri, Umaru Kirawa, NTA News.
Away from security, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has advised those aspiring to occupy public offices to understand that such a quest requires serious commitment because many lives and livelihoods could be impacted by their actions or inactions. Vice President Osinbajo gave the advice when he received a delegation of Southern Kaduna leaders, specifically from Kashia and Karkogo local government areas of Kaduna State. The Vice President said the commitment to the country does not allow careless dealings with matters that concern the poor and those who look up to government with expectations for solutions to their problems. Vice President Osinbajo laments that for some public officers, it's about lining their pockets. At the end, they must give account of their deeds to the people and their maker. Leader of the delegation, Gabriel Zok, applauded the commitment and vision of the Vice President for a better Nigeria and praised the Vice President's loyalty and support to President Muhammadu Buhari.
We are aware of the security challenges that were happening under my constituency, Kachia Kagarko Federal Constituency, and the Vice President brought so much support to the constituency, both relief material to the people of the constituency and security support. And today, the constituency is actually one of the peaceful among Nigerian constituencies. So the traditional rulers and the religious leaders and other people came to say thank you for the support that he brought for the constituency.
In other news, President Muhammadu Buhari extends heartfelt condolences to President Yoon Suk Yeol, the government and people of the Republic of South Korea, as well as families of victims of the tragic incident at Taiwan in Seoul district. The president sends prayerful wishes for speedy recovery of the injured, healing and comfort to the entire nation as they grieve the heartbreaking loss of over 150 people, mostly teenagers and people in their 20s. The president assures President Yoon that Nigeria stands with the people of Korea at this difficult and trying moment. To politics, the Pan-Yoruba Social-Cultural Organization Afenifere has expressed confidence in the ability of the APC presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the best candidate to usher in political stability in Nigeria. The leader of the group, Pat Ruben Fashoranti, also prayed for the electoral victory of the APC presidential candidate before he presented his action plan to the group in Akure, Ondo State. Oluwakemi Ademola has details.
On arrival at the Akure residence of the Afenifere leader, Pa Ruben Fashoranti, the All Progressive Congress's presidential candidate, Bola Tinubu, received blessings from the octogenarian. After the presentation of his action plan, Bola Tinubu appreciated President Muhammadu Buhari for the internal democracy in the All Progressives Congress, which led to his emergence as the presidential candidate of the party.
That appointed the cabinet. They supported
They didn't look back. That is time away from today. No one actually. Yes, there will be opposition. But the opposition with Muslims that win if they had been stopped. But this one, with the prayer, and they are on today, I will bring the trophy.
Spokesperson of the Afenifere Group, Chief Shende Arogbofa, affirmed that it is the turn of Yoruba as president of Nigeria and assured the APC presidential candidate of their support.
There are so many things we are looking upward to. And we pray that the God's grace will be able to accomplish the man who has capacity, who has the reach, who has the experience, who is competent.
The Pan-Yoruba Socio-Cultural Organization Afenifere affirmed that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the best candidate to produce a government that will usher in a new era of hope, peace, security, harmony, economic development, social and political stability.
Let's pause from some of our political stories. When we return, more reports. So stay with us. Thanks for staying with the NTA. Supporters of the All Progressives Congress are adhering to the bottom-up approach of the 2023 Tinubu-Shettima presidential campaign as advocated by stakeholders. Activities at the National Secretariat of the Hadiza Uwani Mustafa Tinubu-Shettima Support Group is an indication, Sali Ugwanara reports.
It is a gathering of coordinators and mobilizers from national to grassroots levels. This set the ball rolling as the group promised to demonstrate and match their words with actions.
It is therefore my advice that we all continue to do what we know how to do best by promoting our great party and its candidates at the grassroots. It is only the proof that we are committed that shall attract reward accordingly.
All hands must be on deck. This is a ship for national renewal and for national recovery. I want to thank her most sincerely from the bottom of my heart for her commitment, for her zeal, for her passion, and for her empathy for our cause and for the cause of nation building.
One support program, as they have said, have structures in every local government of Nigeria.
And don't be overconfident, because we know we have this tendency to be a little bit confident because of the capacity and the kind of people that we have.
Similarly, the Diaspora Directorate of the 2023 Tinubu-Shettima Presidential Campaign Council at a strategic meeting in Abuja said they have in the candidates' manifesto an action plan that will guide their activities for the good of Nigerians at home and in the diaspora.
It's going to be one team working on a single mission, and that mission is to mobilize and ensure that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu becomes the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The Diaspora Committee said Tinubu-Shettima presidential ambition is an opportunity for continuity and consolidation for national development. In Abuja, Salio Guadara, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the presidential flag bearer of the African Action Congress, AAC, Sowore Omoyele, has assured Nigerians of robust policies and programs that will address the challenges in education and the power sectors, which would in turn resolve moribund industries in the country and accelerate economic growth. He was speaking in Kano, where he launched his presidential campaign ahead of the 2023 general elections. Aminu Umar reports.
Addressing party supporters in Kano, AAC presidential flag bearer Sowore urged Nigerians to join hands to break elites' monopoly in politics, who he said are hell-bent to get elected through vote buying. He said African Action Congress, with people's support and partnership, will build for Nigeria a nation they will be proud of.
Kano is the first city we chose to start our campaign in 2023 election. Because Kano is the home of grandfather of the struggle against oppression and poverty. Malam Aminu Kano.
The presidential candidates described Kano as the People's Assembly, thus a reason for launching the party's manifesto for its presidential campaign in the state. In Kano, Amin Umar, NTA News.
And the new Nigeria People's Party is determined to set a new standard in campaign coordination that will sell the qualities of the presidential candidates to the electorate. At a seminar for leaders of the support groups and campaign committees, the party leadership is sensitizing the youth on best practices to achieve issue-based campaigns. David Ire reports.
The focus of this seminar is to inculcate the party's philosophy of issue-based campaigns into the various support groups who at one time or the other take to the streets to solicit support for the presidential candidate. The party is convinced that the qualities and track records of Rabiu Musa Kwangwaso in governance, security and leadership are all the nation needs to reposition for greatness.
These are our field workers. They are the people who are going to deliver all the messages from national secretary down the zonal to the state and to the local government to the world level. Therefore, there must be synergy.
When the House of Representatives, I became the deputy speaker. He went to the Senate, it was a two-term governor, an ambassador, somebody who worked in the NDDC. And when he could not stand the corruption in that place, for the first time in the history of Nigeria, he resigned his membership. Then tell me who has better qualification.
By the time they leave here and they go back to their various states, the Konkosia movement, our state liaison officers, and the other support groups will have a common ground to sit together, meet from time to time, and see how they can support, this our campaign.
The Presidential Campaign Council of the party is to be inaugurated soon. In Abuja, David Ire, NTA News.
The Atiku Okowa Presidential Campaign Organization has assured that the foreign engagements by the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, will yield unprecedented investment inflows, revamp the productivity sectors and create massive jobs for the youth if he emerges victorious in the 2023 elections. The campaign spokesman Kola Olubudinyo explained that Atiku Abubakar's current visit to the United States will further build policy thrust that will fast-track economic recovery and enhance peaceful coexistence in Nigeria. The PDP presidential candidate has also been engaging the Nigerian business community, both at home and in the diaspora, in line with his strategic blueprint to stimulate investments, businesses, and employment opportunities in critical areas. To other matters now, the effective utilization of the non-intrusive inspection regime is not only assisting the APAPA command of the Nigeria Customs Service to check illicit trade and fast-track clearance, but also reducing loss of revenue. This and other measures, the area controller says, contributed to the 30% increase in revenue collected between January and September 2022, in which the command raked in 790 billion naira. Michael Olale tells us more.
Lying here are more than 35 containers with items contravening import and export procedures. But the most disturbing among them are 12 conveying unregistered pharmaceutical products, in which most are either expired or without certification. The customs said they came in from India and Pakistan. But the plus to the anti-smuggling drive of the APAPA Area Command is that its various layers of control, aided by fortified forensic manifest management, makes it easy for illicit trade to be tracked before declaration are lodged.
You should always be guided by the law and regulations of the land.
The zero-tolerance approach of their Papa Command has not only aided in raking in more than 12 billion naira from export and import infractions within the period under review, but increased revenue generated to the tune of 790 billion naira, showing a markup of 181 billion naira compared to 2021. The controller is optimistic that things will only get better because of the availability of scanning equipment that will block loopholes and enhance security.
If we can optimize our system and the terminal operators can key in with optimum delivery process, I think we can have at least 300 to 400 containers scanned per day.
While advising importers to toe the path of truthful declaration, the controller commended the efforts of the Controller General of Customs for stimulating the change process through the provision of enabling platforms. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
As the year gradually winds down, it is only considered appropriate that Nigerians continue to give thanks and praise God for His protection over the months despite challenges of insecurity. This is coming as worshippers gathered to celebrate the 2022 harvest and general thanksgiving of the NTA Chapel of Resurrection in Abuja. Charles Alpha reports.
Harvest of divine satisfaction, intimacy with Christ, the way to true satisfaction as worshippers show gratitude for life.
For me, harvest is actually a time to come together as family, friends, to say, thank you, Lord.
We all know that we are going through security challenges and some other challenges, but still God is keeping us alive.
So I will still encourage people to look unto God, to have trust and believe that God will visit each and every one of us.
The month of January to October have delivered and proven a great deal for these ones, and with a grateful heart, they have come to glorify their Maker for His love and abundance.
Satisfaction cannot come from any other place, apart from the satisfaction that will be given to you by God. Whatever I'm doing, and there is no unity, and there is no true fellowship, then satisfaction will be very difficult.
Clergy admonishes Nigerians to learn to depend more on God in spite of threats to human existence. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
And next, some sporting stories. And before we head to Lagos, let's find out what the weather would look like tomorrow, Monday.
Hello. Monday is expected to start off with a hazy atmosphere and a good deal of sunshine over the northern and north central region of the country. And this is expected throughout the day thanks to some high clouds. But a fine day with patches of clouds are expected over the inland cities of the south. However, isolated thunderstorms are anticipated over the coastal cities of Akwa Ibom, Cross River, and Bayelsa states. Later during the afternoon and evening hours, thunderstorms are anticipated over the coastal belts, including parts of Ondo, Ekiti, Edo, Abia, Imo, and Enugu states. Let's take a look at the air quality index and weather forecast across some selected cities. I'm Theodore Item. Thank you for watching.
And that's the news. Let's now join Jennifer in Lagos for the lineup of our Human Angle stories. Jennifer, over to you.
The pathetic story of a 2-month-old baby who lost an arm following severe beating by the father in Imo State recently flooded the social media. While the agony of amputation of the baby's arm stares the family in the face, the untold story of the perpetrator of such crime against humanity still remains a mystery. Beatrice Anyam is following the case.
Man's inhumanity to man is often viewed as the height of cruelty. It is even more disheartening when such cruelty comes from one's biological parent. This is the story of Baby Miracle. The 2-month-old baby boy who has been trending on the social media lost an arm from beating by his father, one Confidence Amatobi, a native of Amurie in Isu local government area of Imo State, as he was quoted as saying that the baby was crying so much and was disturbing his sleep. Baby Miracle's mother, Favor Chikwe, though not formally married to her baby's father, Confidence says he immediately locked them up in the room when she discovered what he has done.
And he threatened me not to tell anybody about it. And I said, okay, based on the threatening he gave to me. Then when he was going out, he will lock me inside. So on the Sunday afternoon stroke evening when he was going out, I have to come outside so that I'll report it to his neighbor. And when I went to his neighbor, when he left, and I went to report it to his neighbor, I told his neighbor, look at what happened. So and he was not around. His neighbor had to call him and told him that see what happened. The baby is already weak and it's no longer breathing well like that. So they said the husband to be that flogged the baby with anger. And it's justice for the baby. And in the financial aspect too.
The result of leaving the injured arm without medical attention for days is this amputation.
I'm hopeful that he will have a prosthesis, but prosthesis is not put on usually accurately, in at least in our own setting. The wound has to heal very well.
Just as this incident has continued to attract public outcry.
We've called the attention of the law enforcement agency, the CP, officially letting him to do his work by making sure that this culprit, this alleged violator, is arrested, prosecuted, and justice being given to the little boy.
I want Confidence to be found, and I want him to come and say his own part of the story so we can have a balanced view of what, or information of what really transpired. While I look forward to justice to be served, I also hope and pray that the state government, or if possible the federal government, could place that little boy on life scholarship.
I'm appealing that well-meaning Nigerians should come to the rescue of this baby, though he's out of danger at the moment. Yes, but he still needs help.
While the baby is still on admission at the Federal Medical Center, the father who committed the crime has remained at large.
We are on top of the situation because the Commissioner of Police has already directed the command investigation arm to commence a full-blown investigation into the matter. The husband of the woman, as we all know, is on the run, and we are close to him.
Help is what Baby Miracle needs if he must survive his predicament.
Baby. It's actually insane for anyone to even think of hitting a baby. The father needs to face the consequences of his crude action. Now, what ought to have been a relationship and affair between two young ladies over a boyfriend in Lafia, the Nasarawa state capital, turned violent as a whole family, including a lecturer, allegedly ganged up and assaulted the rival lady. Let's join Abigail Bashe for details of this.
The assault captured in a video which happened to be trending on the social media has generated mixed reactions among Nigerians. The act was alleged to have been committed by Emanuela Ayokai, who joined forces with her father, a lecturer with the Federal University Lafia, and two of her brothers against her rival, Blessing Matthias. However, in another video on the social media, Blessing had earlier attacked Emanuela, triggering the face-off between the duo.
I want to advise, especially we the parents that have children, if something like this happens, please, we should not take law into our hands. We should follow the right channel. We should meet them, discuss with them, know where the problem is.
Some of the parents today, they are always like their children to misbehave. By the time the child grew up, the child will do worse than that. So parents should be careful.
If this kind of thing happen and they caution the person, the other one, another person will fear God. That's why anybody will do whatever he wants and get away. You will see many people doing that. There is no fear of God.
Following investigations by the National State Police Command,
all the suspects were arraigned at High Court 1, Lafia, before Justice Aisha Bashir Aliu, the Chief Judge of Nasarawa State, on 6-count charge. The case has been assigned to High Court OB for trial, while the suspects have been remanded in prison custody pending formal arraignment.
Governor Abdullahi Sile, while commending the management of the Federal University Lafia for dissociating itself from the act, insists sanction be meted on the culprit to serve as a deterrent to others. On the culprit, deterrent.
Violence solves nothing really, and it's very important for us to know where to draw the line when there's issue. And I'm sure the young man involved is probably somewhere laughing and enjoying himself. Now, one's desire to achieve something in life can make one scale hurdles despite all odds. This resilience also defines the personality of such a person. A 10-year-old girl in Zaria falls within the ambit of this argument. Faced with multiple challenges of life, she confronted her worst situation with confidence and determination. Tina Toro had an encounter with Fatima Kabir, whose ambition to acquire formal education was inspired by her disability and indigent background.
The story of 10-year-old Fatima Kabir, resident of Dogarawa, a suburb community in Zaria Metropolis. What is more striking about this young girl is that she was born with complications. As a result, she lost her two arms. Life was becoming miserable at infancy on account of her indigent background. Her parents could not afford medication to correct the deformity. Little Fatima has been in this pathetic condition, which makes her life so challenging. Her biological father divorced her mother because of her health condition, claiming that he could no longer bear the cost of her medication. The most interesting part of her story is that her condition has spurred her to conduct her day-to-day activities like any other normal child. Fatima has no one to take care of her medical bill because her mother is also battling for survival as a single mother and family breadwinner. Her birth was a difficult one. Initially, we went to a traditional midwife, but when the complications set in, she referred us to the hospital, and it was discovered that she was breech. Yet Fatima is not deterred by these challenges, rather determined to scale up at all odds. Her dexterity to succeed in life has been a source of inspiration to her community. She's a very patient and humble child. Her mother is doing her very best to give her quality education despite her challenges.
If someone finds himself in this kind of situation, he has to be patient because everyone has his own special challenges.
Like any other able-bodied pupil, Fatima is a primary 5 pupil of Chikaji LEA Primary School in Sabongari local government area, but she's unique in her own way. Unlike her classmates, little Fatima writes her notes using her feet. How she strikes the balance is better imagined.
I help her to put her bag on her back, and I also submit her homework for marking, and I give her water to drink.
And always she's punctual. She's very friendly, and she don't have problem. Taking 19th position out of 50 something in the class.
The very day when there was a coverage of how she writes with her leg. So the local council chairman saw it and he later invited us. He asked me to go there, I and her parents, and we went. Reaching there, they were having meeting with some of the council members and an official from Suburb. So they asked her to write. She uses her leg to write, and almost all of them shed tears.
What motivated Fatima to confront her challenges headlong?
I learn it on my own, and my favorite subjects are maths, English, and basic science. I want to become a medical doctor.
Fatima has a clear mission. She knows what she wants, and achieving her ambition of becoming somebody in future is attainable, provided Fatima will receive necessary support from her community.
The power within is a great force that can propel us to do great things. Fatima needs all the encouragement she can get. Quite inspiring. From Zaria, we go to Lagos. Annie Daniels recently observed that more than ever before, motorists in Lagos, especially commercial vehicle drivers, now drive with fear of getting their vehicles impounded because of what some refer to as small demon. Itching to know more? Listen to Annie.
Can you imagine a society without law and order? I'm sure what you will get is chaos and confusion. The story wouldn't have been different on our roads without traffic managers, road traffic signs and regulations. The Lagos State government recently revisited its traffic laws with stronger punishment for offenders. In fact, motorists in the city are really slugging it out with traffic regulatory agencies daily. They are everywhere in Lagos. With over 30 road traffic signs, the one that a larger percentage of motorists I spoke with dread is one way.
90% of people that have died on our road have died as a result of people taking one way. And it's important that we protect lives and properties in Lagos. And so one way is a very serious offense. It's something that we don't take lightly.
On this day, I met this scene where a heated argument between these motorists and a traffic control agency ensued.
We won't go work for Kurudu, come Lost Road. Now somebody direct us to make it pass here. I don't know say this place in our one way.
You see the law enforcement agent will be sitting here. Somebody is trying to commit the offense. They will not ask him to don't do this. They will allow him to. Then they will come and catch him.
I've had experience before where I was trying to ask your direction and police jump into traffic regulators jump into my cars and say it's one way. So for you to actually help the citizens to actually obey one way, there must be clear signs at even before you get to the one way.
To see things for myself, I looked around but couldn't find any one-way sign.
You're right that we should have one-way signs, and we do. But what happened is that a lot of people steal them because they're made of aluminium.
Many road users have been noticing the infraction in that signages. They have the right to go and meet members of, whoever that thing falls under his jurisdiction, to say this signage is not properly placed.
For close to an hour of my presence here, cars were driving past. I made efforts to speak with the traffic agency and policemen here, but they refused to say anything to me, although I quite understand why.
I think it's a good thing that the government is now taking traffic laws seriously, but for one way, we must put clear signs.
Of course, doing the right thing is good, but doing it the right way is best and remains the best.
Obeying traffic regulations is just key to safety. Very important. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari this Sunday evening granted audience to the Emir of Katsina, Alhaji Abdul Muminu Kabir Usman after hospital discharge. The president prayed for his continued good health and strength to continue with the good works he is doing in his domain. He thanked the emir for his steadfast support for the present administration and his relentless advocacy for the well-being of the less privileged. The emir in turn appreciated President Buhari for his support towards his treatment and recovery and wished him a successful completion of his tenure. He pledged the unalloyed support of the people to the president in his support to find solutions to the problems militating against the well-being of the nation and her citizens. We'll take a break now. Newsline continues shortly. Information Literacy Week may have come and gone. One memory will remain in the minds of the delegates who converged on Abuja for the global event that has put Nigeria in the books of history. Anthony Fonsin, who was part of the event as it unfolded up to the closing, captured the moods of the delegates who were so free and asked for more fun in the face of alleged threat to attack the capital city by terrorists.
They came from across the globe with one mission: to be part of Nigeria's moment of history, the adoption of the Abuja Declaration on Financing Global and Information Literacy, a document that will give people knowledge about the fight against disinformation. And as the saying goes, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. The participants didn't play the Jack, they were themselves, devoid of demography and background. They took time out to unwind in the Nigerian hospitality way. They embraced the peaceful Abuja ambience and took to the floor after a sumptuous dinner. Little did I know that the delegates had on their own understood the Nigerian social landscape and how to unwind. They rolled, jeered, and danced. As if it was a rehearsal session. When the Buga music was released, see how they displayed.
Nigeria is just the headquarters of fun. I mean, you can't visit Nigeria and not have so much fun. Now, from within and outside the country, dignitaries gathered to pay homage and celebrate with the traditional ruler and Obi of Onitsha, His Majesty Igwe Alfred Achebe, as he marks 20 years on the throne of his ancestors. Franklin Onyekachi reports that the 20th Ofala Festival of Igwe Achebe, which was characterized by glitz and glamour, was sponsored by the telecommunication giant company Globacom.
At dawn, in his traditional regalia, Igwe Achebe made a grand entry into the Ofala arena as he acknowledged cheers from his subjects and spectators. He danced to the traditional Egwota majestically. This was after the Ndi cheers have taken turns to respond to the beating of the royal drums. Igwe Achebe expressed gratitude to all who have supported his leadership and the people of Onitsha for the past 20 years and restated the need for value reorientation as part of measures to achieve expected results both in the community and the nation at large.
On this journey, our mantra has been transformation, reinvention, and repositioning in order to stay pace of the imperatives of the 21st century.
The governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, eulogized Igwe Achebe for a purposeful leadership and called for a harmonious relationship between the traditional institution and elected leadership.
Our culture is our identity. Our identity is who we are.
After God is our tradition, and we are proud of it.
I want to wish him many more years on the throne in good health and happiness.
We normally say Abogidi, Nduyo, your life, which means we are wishing him long life.
I remain prayerful for him and all the traditional rulers in Anambra State in Nigeria, and urge God to keep them so they can continue to contribute in building a better Nigeria.
Globacom, a true Nigerian brand, has kept faith with the sponsorship of the Onitsha Ofala Festival for over a decade.
The excitement in Glo cannot stop. It's a continuous process. We are going to bring much more excitement in different dimensions here in Onitsha. The relationship between Globacom, Abogidi, and the people of Onitsha. We are taking it to the next level. The brand is for you. It's a true Nigerian brand. We care for the people of Nigeria. We care for the people of Onitsha. And that is why we are here to support you.
Winners smiled home with various prizes from the Glow Ofala promo, ranging from industrial sewing machines, grinding machines, and the star prize of tricycles won by 2 lucky subscribers.
I feel like today is my birthday. Honestly, I'm very, very happy today. Glow is my line. And even I trust Glow more than any other network.
And so it was that a carnival organized by the Onitsha Youth Council preceded the Ofala celebration as a means of sensitizing the people about the momentous event. The 20th Ofala Festival of Igwe Achebe was consummated with a royal banquet where winners who emerged during the age grade parade were presented with prizes as the people were treated to sumptuous meals and good music. We rejoice with the Obi of Onitsha and the good people of Onitsha and Anambra State. Their slogan is "Pass on the Torch," a phrase that connotes the importance of upholding the dream of one of Nigeria's foremost institutions, the Queen's College, Lagos. Matching words with action, old girls of the school held a fundraising event to keep the dream alive. Annie Daniels has details.
In this hall are old girls of Queen's College, a school that has remained afloat for 95 years and stands to be beaten.
I have my Sunday uniform, I have my Queen's College blue check and blue skirt uniform. I still have them at home.
After how many years?
After 77 was the year that the Queen's College turned 50. So that was the year I graduated.
Do you expect less from them after not seeing most of themselves for over 20 years? Indeed, it is a homecoming for them. Still, in realization of the importance of girl-child education, these women, old girls of the school, who stand out in their chosen careers and fields of endeavor, alongside their friends and relatives, have come to forge the way forward for an academic institution that has been and remains an envious one.
And one of the things we are talking about today is to restore that system where girls can get very good quality education, they can rise as leaders.
There are a lot that women can do. We used to say that if you empower a woman, you have actually empowered a family. So we have to start from the foundation by making sure that the girl child is well protected in Nigeria.
Investment in them will go a lot in contributing in development and growth of the country.
The sites where Queen's College exists today at Yaba and King's College at Oniko have been like this for more than 100 years today. And as I said, the structures are overstretched.
And for the students of the school, they can't wish less.
They should provide more computers for us because the library we are using, there's no computer in it. It's just books. If we want to search for something now, we should be able to go there at any time online and search for it.
And obviously when I go through, I'll be able to come back and do something like this for my junior ones that I'm leaving behind.
From the 40s when it came on board, Queen's College remains a school with high standards, integrity, resilience and hard work.
Queen's College taught us how to be excellent ladies, ladies with values, ladies that value service to humanity.
So, to maintain those standards and more, these girls are determined to pass on the torch, and that in a memorable way.
And to look forward to fundraising for the school so that we can uphold and improve on its standards is because it really made a huge impact on us. The environment, the teaching, the discipline, the camaraderie with the friends, and also the quality of the teachers are things that you remember, and you want others to experience similar things.
Now, I can imagine how those old girls were rocking when they were really girls. Upholding dreams that would make and affect lives of the younger generation and make them great is very important. Now, turbaning ceremonies are traditional and occasion and events that take place in royal palaces where monarchs make new appointments or replacements. However, the turbaning of a former Minister of Finance, Monsiru Mukhtar, a few days ago by the Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero, seems unique and historic. Abdullah Mustafa captured sights and sounds of the ceremony and tells us what makes it so special.
This is the 8th time in 2 centuries and first in nearly 7 decades. Almost everyone in the royal court is witnessing the turban of Sarkin Bey, a council member and kingmaker in Kano Emirate, for the first time. It is conferred on a renowned economist, academic and global banker, Dr. Mansur Mukhtar, to succeed his father, Alhaji Mukhtar Adnan, who served between 1954 and 2021 when death came calling. Historic it is because his predecessor was not just longest serving, but the only kingmaker to participate in the selection of 4 emirs and served under 5, including Sir Muhammad Sanusi, who appointed him in 1954. Not only family, members of the Dambazawa clan and the people of his hometown, Dambata, the Islamic Development Bank's vice president, was joined in the celebration by dignitaries from far and near.
For any kind of leadership Allah has bestowed on somebody needs his guidance. So we are praying for Allah's guidance.
Let me also seize this opportunity to thank His Royal Highness for this honor.
This title, Sarkin Bankano, is not only for him, but it's all the people of Dambata, Makoda, and Kanonos in general.
Emir Aminu Ado Bayero enjoined the new Sarkin Bey to build on the legacies of the late Mukhtar Adnan, who he stressed will continue to be remembered as a father and statesman. Apart from being a new council member and kingmaker in Kano Emirate, the former executive director of the World Bank has assumed a patriarchal position in the famous Dambazawa dynasty. A special reception was organized by clan members where guests cited his positive attributes and accomplishments in expressing hope for an inclusive, focused, and unique leadership.
It's really not for one particular family or one particular person. This is for the entire Dambazo clan, and we thank all our brothers and sisters, extended families.
We should also pray for him. We should ensure that his job is made easier through our council.
Despite the fact that I've been privileged to occupy many positions in the international community and at the national level, I see this as a very special and cherished position that has basically a distinctiveness in its character.
Legal ceremony. Congratulations is quite appropriate. Also appropriate is our next break. Welcome back. The name Eugenia Abu will always ring a bell with memories of her time with the Nigerian Television Authority as an ace broadcaster and one of the pace setters in the industry. Are you wondering why she's in the news today? Well, it is her 60th birthday celebration, and family, friends, and well-wishers rolled out the drums in Abuja to celebrate the milestone. Ekene Ndule reports.
For 17 years, House was a regular face on the 9 o'clock news on the network service of the NTA, with her delivery making her one of the most celebrated broadcasters in Nigeria. Her 60th birthday was another opportunity for friends and family to honor the woman who many see as their role model. The food, drinks and music provided the right ambience for the guests to enjoy their evening with the Abu family. And of course, the Bugadas was inevitable as Eugenia Abu and her husband of 39 years took to the dance floor. For many dignitaries, they met Mrs. Abu at different times, but their impression about her remained the same.
She radiates confidence, she radiates affection, she radiates empathy, and above all, she's a fantastic patriot.
A woman who likes to develop other women, lift them up, support the young ones coming after us. She's a mentor to so many.
I rejoice with her family, her husband, Mr. Abu, and everybody, and of course the NTA family, because that is Eugenia Abu of NTA News.
Apparently, there is a story behind every success, and Auntie Eugenia, as many call her, was willing to give some tips on what made her stand out in the industry.
I think everything is about hard work. Everything is about patience. And I think we should learn hierarchy to give respect to our seniors. That would make us do better. I've always given my seniors in the industry their respect. And I think younger broadcasters should do the same.
My birthday wish for her would be that she's able, by God's grace, to achieve, even if it is just a quarter of the kind of things she has passion for.
She has led the way for a lot of the career paths that we've chosen, and the way we're diligent in the work that we do today is a big part of the upbringing that she has provided for all of us.
Attaining 60 is seemingly not slowing Mrs. Abu, as she is currently breaking new grounds with her media center and consultancy job.
Happy birthday to the beautiful veteran broadcaster, writer, and poet. The Sheikh Ahmed Tijani Jumat Mosque in Kano State played host to royalties and other dignitaries who converged on the mosque to witness the wedding fatia of Hawa Said Ahmed, daughter of the Director General, National Emergency Management Agency, Mustafa Habib Ahmed, and Abdulmalik Mukhtar. The chief imam, Sheikh Alfa, announced the couple as husband and wife after payment of 200,000 naira as dowry. Ilyasu Yakubu reports and has more on the wedding.
Sheikh Mustafa Saidu Makital gave the daughter out in marriage on behalf of the bride's family, and Sarkim Bayi of Kano and former Minister of Finance Mansur Mukhtar received on behalf of the groom's family. The chief imam prayed Allah to bless the marriage with children that will have wisdom with both Islamic and Western knowledge that will be beneficial to humanity. He advised the couple to be patient with one another to make the best of their marital life. Soon after the wedding fatiha, guests were treated to a sumptuous meal.
Wish them God's guidance and abundance, faith to accomplish this new life.
Congratulate all of them, and I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in his infinite mercies will make life very easy for them.
I wish the couple a very successful marriage and God bless.
Very interesting. Let's now take a last break. We'll be back. I am sure you'll agree with me that the lineup today has been interesting so far. So join us again Sunday next week for another episode of Newsline. But don't forget that the fastest and easiest way to becoming a star is to connect with the NTA to stand against rape and rapists. Good night and God bless Nigeria.